The Oklahoma Standard is to help someone in need. And if Edmond's kind of the heartbeat of part of central Oklahoma, then you know what? We have to open the door so wide, and we're blessed that Bob and Martha through Turning Point have started that.
We've been part of the Edmond community for a long time, and there really hasn't been affordable housing for a lot of people.
A lot of people don't earn enough money to qualify to buy the minimum homes that are being built in Edmond. Teachers, policemen, firemen, city workers, a lot of service workers, people that are making good money, but they're just not homes in Edmond that we're not building workforce homes.
The majority of people here have a very good life. There are people in our own community still that have needs.
Turning Point is one of the entities that can help bring additional families into the various communities that we have in Edmond. And whenever you have the opportunity to provide that kind of an advantage for people, I think it's important to do so. So to me, that's one of the reasons that it's important to us as a city, as a community.
And Habitat has not been building in Edmond because of the price of land. And so Turning Point is forming a bridge between Habitat and Edmond by purchasing the land and developing it.
We set out to provide housing for single moms, for women, for widows.
I was married for 17 years and then became divorced. I finished my degree while Titus was still very, very, very sick to become a special ed teacher. This is our little house, and while it's beautiful and filled with God and good things, we're all very cozy, and there's not a lot of room for me in this house with 4 boys and all their friends.
About 9 years ago, my husband passed away from an aortic aneurysm, so I became a single parent. And at the time we had a house, but I was not able to keep the house because of financial reasons. Turning Point, of course, knows me from church, and they had approached me and asked me if I would fill out the paperwork to do a Habitat house.
To watch someone on the day they are handed the keys to a home. I am a homebody, and so I identify home as security, a place to rest, a place of comfort, a place of laughter, of where your joys are doubled and your sorrow is halved. And to see a family that, this family I witnessed, they were living in an apartment in a very rough neighborhood where I heard a grandmother tell me that she could not even let her 4 grandchildren go outside of the apartment to go play. And then you go watch them play, and even in a park, or they can play ball, or they have their own bedroom. To watch children see that, oh my lands, my life has changed by having some security in my life, of getting a home. I'm not sure you really can describe what it's like until you really witness that. And I think for my husband and myself, what it showed me was I take a lot for granted.
I was called by one gentleman from Turning Point Ministries, and he said, "Hey, do you have a stand-up freezer?" I said, "No." "Do I need one to qualify for a Turning Point home?" He said, "No, but I have one. Do you want one?" A stand-up freezer? Again, all I can say was God is really good.
I particularly like communicating with the young single mothers who never in their whole life dreamed that they could provide a home that they own to raise their children in. Never thought that they would ever be out of an apartment and have a permanent home for their children.
But Turning Point Ministries is not just about a home, because they find or they hear or they know of people that have a need, and they just go meet it.
Having this house was a great thing and a blessing, because without this house I wouldn't be able to cook and be independent like I've been wanting to be.
She needed open space to be able to get around, so we had to take, instead of regular Habitat floor plans, we had to get our own architect to design something that would work for Jenny Kay.
I was like, I just sat here one day and I looked around and I thought, is this really my house?
So if you can help bring someone in that has a little security and the foundation of a home and a good life, a safe community, I'm glad to say that for the most part, Edmond is a safe community. I think that's what I would tell someone who said, well, I'm not sure about over here in Edmond. I'm darn sure it needs to be here in Edmond.
I do have more than just an interest from the city perspective in this or other initiatives that we have like this in our community, because the need is out there. We know the need is increasing, and anything we can help do to address these needs. And there are really quite a few different faith-based organizations in town that have taken on a piece of these, and we are certainly very appreciative of that, and we hope to expand upon those in the future.
I think every community should support someone like Bob and Martha coming in. I mean, we are blessed to have the Turners wanting to do this.
Every time we turn around, there are just wonderful opportunities that just kind of fall in front of you. And there was a time in my life I would have thought that was coincidental. But I know now, maybe as my own faith has matured, that it's only by the grace of God.
Rich to me is my understanding that God is always with me. Rich to me is not stressing through the storms, but rather learning to dance in the rain.